Good morning. I'm Wayne Everett. This is my 220 AirMax from BlackHawk, and we're having some questions about the overheating of it. When we're on a climb, a continuous climb, it gets up. I think I've gotten to 430 down in Salton Sea. I was at 430 degrees, and when I backed out, took it down I took it to an RPM that kept me straight and level, or kept me level, straight, who knows about that. It was probably 72, 75, something like that, 75 degrees in the daytime. And if I backed out of the throttle and took it down to a point where it was at flying level, it'd be about 350, 360. So I'll take a look. I'm gonna fly it today. I'll show you what we're talking about here. I've had a couple of guys tell me that if I cut this shroud here, this cooling shroud, which is shaped like that, it is 180 degrees, half of the cylinder and all of the bottom, half the bottom. So if I cut this shroud off, and what we're talking about here is a shroud, and it starts right here. I got my finger on it. Goes right up the side here, both sides. So it's covering the front half of this cylinder and the head. It's forced air, so the air would come in up on top somewhere. It comes down and supposedly blows out this way, but you can't even get that screwdriver in there hardly. Look at that. It's very, very, very tight. So if I cut this, if I go up and I decide that I'm going to cut this, I'm going to cut it right there, right at the head, actually right there, all the way around. Looking at the front of that, I'm behind the seat looking at this shroud. You can see it coming down really tight, real tight, real tight. So if we cut it right there all the way around, that exposes this whole cylinder head to all of that air in front. Coming in around this thing, going right in there, around the seat, right through there. That should cool that thing off considerably. And I'm going to reset this temperature gauge. Let us clear the prop. Clear. Oh, let me get that right. Let me get it right. I don't like it. Alrighty, clear prop. So a high temperature, it came out with a high temperature of 453, which is the highest I think it's ever been. And right now it's probably 74, 75 degrees. It's 7 o'clock in the morning in Sacramento. It gets hot fast here. It got all the way down to 65 last night. I'm going to back that out again. I'm going to go back to 12 o'clock. So I've been adjusting this, and I've been going clockwise 1/8 of a turn at a time, but you know what? I'm going to go back to there. I'm going to go back to 12 o'clock up. Alrighty, second flight of the day. And right now it's sitting at 128 degrees, and I enriched it by 1/8 of a turn. So let's see what we can come up with. Second flight. Clear to go. So that's 2 flights, and I got it down by 20 degrees just by richening it, but when I pull that plug out, you'll see that that plug is drenched. Well, may not be drenched, but kind of an appropriate song. There you go. That's after the second flight. I think it was 432 degrees max temp, and I turned that to 12 o'clock. Let me pull this one, because this is the one I need out of the way more than any of them, more than anything else. What is that? Okay. I'll get over the top of this thing. Oh yeah. So the tool I'm using on this is a Dremel. Variable speed. Corded. And we're out here in the field. That's the little blades right there. 1/8 inch drive. Probably a 1-inch blade. For electricity, it's Stanley, okay, 1200 peak battery amps, which I've used it for the truck and the Volkswagen. Oh, I usually use it when I kill the batteries in the big bus. I use it to start the generator. That bolt is holding that on at the bottom to the cylinder, and I've cut around it. You can see that I've cut around it right there. me it's 97 degrees. It's hot. It's already hot. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. It's too hot to fly. So hey, we took 2 flights today. The first one, the high-speed fuel mixture was at about the 2 o'clock position. I changed that after the first flight, after 45, 50 degrees. I changed that back to straight up 12 o'clock. And you can see the spark plug the first time, and then we took that second flight and I got it at, I don't know, 4:30 or something, 4:32 I think. And I pulled that plug out after that, and we looked at it, there's a difference. So I went back to the hangar after the second flight and took a good look at where I wanted to cut that shroud, and I took it off. We'll go flying in the morning early and see if we get 20 or 30 degrees off of our max temp. So I'll report back to you in a couple of days. Thank you.